Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We accidentally skipped last week due to all the craziness with me working and stuff. I was actually supposed to work tonight, so we didn't know if we were going to do the live tonight or not. But there was a change in the schedule, so here we are. So we got a little bit of a mail call. Yesterday I had received a letter from the post office because you know how Ladies Z Days Ahead was trying to figure out what happened to the packages they were supposed to send us. Well, I got a letter from the post office yesterday, and it said that it didn't meet the mailing standards. So, dressed in the desk drawer. Said it didn't meet mailing standards and that we needed to call and see what they need to do or just sign a letter saying go ahead and dispose of it. So I called up there to see what was going on, and they had told us that our package had been damaged, and that's why they had not mailed it, because of the fact that it had gotten damaged. So I was like, okay, we'll be up there after a while to deal with the package, because if they disposed of it, it would potentially cost. And I was like, well, and then I forgot there's this surprise in there, so I almost made an oopsie by letting them dispose of it themselves. But I'm glad I didn't, because when I went back, when I got up there and she showed me what had happened to the package, I could see there was other contents in the bottom of the deal that was potentially not damaged. So we brought it home. Yeah, the vanilla didn't really make it, but we were able to save the surprise. The surprise was a mango jalapeno jam and a watermelon jam, which we will probably be trying on some hamburgers tonight to see how they taste. And we also got from them some keychains. I don't know if y'all can see it very good, but they have some keychains that are cute, by the way. I'm gonna put that on my keys. I'm kind of like Shannon in the way. I love keychains and stickers. And then we got 3 of their channels. Three of the channels bracelets. 2 blue and 1 pink. The 2 are smaller. I guess they sent one for the little man. He's a little too young to wear one right now, but when he gets older, we'll let him wear it. And then he gets bigger. And they sent us a card, just kind of saying congratulations on the win for their 1K, I believe it was.
I think so.
Yeah, 1K. And they sent us a regular sticker and a magnet. So that was the surprise. But like I said, the vanilla's not able to make it. So what I did do, Ben's the container that had busted, which I'm not sure. Hopefully I was able to save it. I put a strainer on top of a mason jar and poured it through to see if maybe possibly we were able to save it. Hopefully it doesn't have any tidbits of glass, but that's why I put the strainer there. So I have to be very careful with this. That was the contents of the bottle, because it wanted busted. It looked like somebody had dropped it very hard on its corner and just kind of was tossing other packages in there really hard, and so that's why it possibly got damaged, because it wasn't opened or anything like that. So it probably just somebody has a bad day and just wasn't paying careful enough attention to the contents of the package and busted it because they're being careless, most likely. But the package was found. Maybe not in the best condition, but it was found. So that's the update on the package and what was in it. So we got some little goodies. Like I said, I'm still not sure about the vanilla bins that did have broken glass in it. And they had basically quarantined it, or hazmated it, should I say, because I guess an employee said it smelled like alcohol. But when I got there and the lady was showing me the package and what had happened to it, I could smell it was the vanilla. Their used sticker, as they say. So that's kind of the update on it, but it's kind of funky that, of course, the way they packaged it, which I know was just to protect it, and it's the only thing they could find. They said, the lady told me, that if it was wine, it was illegal to send wine or any form of alcohol through the mail. But it was not. It was the vanilla, and I could smell the vanilla when she, like I said, when she was moving the package around to show me what had happened to the package. Because we were a bit concerned that somebody might have opened it and just, being nosy or whatever. Of course, that's federal law. Against federal law to open another person's package without consent, especially in a mail office. But like I said, she didn't even open the package. She just kind of was showing me and moved the dill a little bit. I could see the stuff under it, so she didn't do anything wrong at all. So yeah, that's why we haven't been honest, because that's what happened to the package, and kind of what's going on with work. It's kind of crazy. I was supposed to work all week this week, but they wound up changing the schedule, I believe, yesterday. So I was off today, and I think one other day, and then I work the rest of the week after that. So I got wound up with a couple days off, which is fine. I would have worked them if I had to, but they were adding a couple of new people, so that was another reason why they had changed the schedule to open up spots to get those other two trained that they had hired. And that way it's not so clustered, because 3 people in that kitchen and working behind the counter can be kind of cramped. But so they do 2 people at night, so that's fine. Mornings are a different story. We'll learn how to do it eventually. Not getting too bad at it. But that's kind of the update on that and where we're at. I've got some soil protein, I guess you could say, in a way, saved up for my plants this year if I get to do my garden. Hopefully it will do better this year. This year we had the well house broke, and that caused the front water to go down. And then shortly after that, the back water pump went out because the line broke, so we were not able to water our plants. Plus the heat, it just killed the garden. So hopefully this coming year we'll be able to do better on it, and we'll be able to have some more produce than we were able to get for the heat and the mishap of no water hit. Hopefully, but we'll have to see. But I found out used coffee grounds are good for your garden, because my pepper plants and my tomato plants could kind of look yellow and like they're getting diseased, and I'd pour some of those use coffee grounds, and I'd water them with that, and they perked right up, and the yellowing and stuff went away, and I didn't have any issues with them after that. It just the heat, but until the heat hit and everything. And then, like, eggshells have potassium in which the soil needs, so I've got some crushed eggshell that I'm going to put on the garden as well to help the soil. Of course, every year we put the ashes from our fireplace in there to help with that, to help the soil too. So that's kind of where we're at with the garden situation. I've got to go through my seed inventory and see which ones I'm going to have to pick up, because some of them I ran out of. But that's, that kind of happens when you do a garden. Your seed inventory goes down when you do a garden and you're not able to save the seeds from the plants you already have for the next year, because they don't grow, which things like that happen sometimes. So I'm not too worried about it. And I got some new ones I'm gonna try to add to the garden as well. I picked them up, what was it, Tuesday? Yeah, I picked those up Tuesday. I've got them sitting in the water so they can start rooting. And we'll see how they do. Excuse me. And hopefully they'll take off this year. But I'm gonna try and grow those in the house first and see how they do, and just kind of keep roots on them. Because I've been looking for some turmeric to add to my garden for a long time, and I finally found it Tuesday, so I grabbed some. And I think ginger was one of them, and then chocolate mint was the third one that I'm going to be adding. And I know chocolate mint will take off. When we were living in town, a neighbor of ours had it, and it was just taking over quite a bit. So I know it'll take off, and it's easy to grow. It's just going to be I'm going to find a place for it, so that because it's so invasive, I'm going to put it in a place of its own, so that it doesn't take over my other plants and kill my other plants. And I'm going to try and get my seeds started a little earlier, just so that I can, I'll have plants to plant in the ground, hopefully. It's just going to be trying to figure out how to do that. So we'll see how that works out. It's going to be an interesting thing. And right now I have one of my rabbits in the chicken tractor, and he's loving it because it's nice and cool when it's hot, because the way the chicken tractor is built, it gets too hot for them. Ooh, sorry. But now that it's cooler weather, he's liking that chicken tractor, but I can't put both of them together. I think it would be a little easier on them if I could put both of them in there, but the way that is built, I don't have any way of them for them to share it with a divider. So only one rabbit gets it, unfortunately. But they're still doing really good. And I'm going to attempt, keyword attempt, to build a cage of my own for him, or for the one I'm supposed to be getting from Empty Homestead. I just have to finish getting some materials and see what materials I already have to build it. And so that's going to be an interesting process, and hopefully I can remember to record the process of us doing, of me building it. Well, maybe with my husband's help here. Sometimes he has a little bit better ideas than I do. So we're going to go that route. And I haven't been able to pick them up because I haven't really had a space for them, and I don't want to not get them and not have a space for them. That's why I've held off on them. But so hopefully I'll have those built as soon as I can, and hopefully by spring everything will be a little bit better. Because as of right now, I don't have a building to put them in like some of the other homesteaders have to put theirs in. Mine are unfortunately out in the weather, so I'm going to be putting some wind blocks on their pens to keep the wind from getting to them too much. But I've already got them up on stands, pre-made stands, hillbilly stands, if you want to say, or redneck stands.
Redneck, isn't it?
Yeah, redneck stands. Just some of the material we had laying around the house. There's an old shelf I just took apart and took it half and half and made a stand out of it to set those pins on. And because the way it was already, you wouldn't have been able to. One would be off the ground, but the other one wouldn't. That way, also that their droppings will fall through the bottom easier too. And one of them was actually just a dog pin. I kind of converted it a little bit. I took some other material, part of the material I had to build the other pin, and put it in the bottom, because if I would have left it the way it is, the rabbit's feet would definitely go through and they would not be able to move around at all. So I put some of that other material I had down in there, and that way they can walk around and their feet aren't falling through, but yet their droppings can fall through. So that's been working okay. Let's see, what else does it need to be updated on? I think we already told you that we lost our last coonhound we had. He passed away a few weeks ago. Blue and the horse are kind of being somewhat friends, but he's getting a little too annoying for her at times, and she's annoyed by him. She nearly ran him over, I guess, this morning over food. She was ready to get to her food, and he kind of blocked her way, and she didn't like it, so she kind of nearly ran over him. But then again, the dog is a bit of a derp. He don't know when to move out of the way. He gets himself tangled a lot because he's still in training and stuff. I'm trying to teach him that you don't jump on me if you want lovins and food. You want lovins, you're gonna all fours on the ground. But he does like to give hugs, so I don't mind the hugs, and he'll just kind of take his paw and like wrap it around my leg or something while he's sitting, which is fine. I don't mind that. It's just the jumping we don't want him to do. Of course, with him being so young, he's still on the hyper side and raring to go, but he don't know the yard well enough to let loose. But we'll get him trained as soon as we can. It's just trying to let everything balance out to where we can, with everything that we have going on. Of course, Izzy and Baby Dog, they're just fine. They're not pretty much their normal selves. Honors can be pushing their limits to see when they're going to get in trouble, like normal dogs do. I was looking at my son. He's over there playing in the floor with his toys. He's having himself a ball. Just having him some fun. Buggy. He's having some fun. So, what was I gonna say? I'm like all over the board tonight. I can't even keep it straight. It's one of them nights where, you know, it's been so long that yeah, we were. Excuse me. Ugh. But hopefully we'll get him settled as soon as we can, and as soon as things settle down with us, with all the craziness, you know. Winter's coming, and of course he's got a doghouse to be in. He's got shelter. Come on, baby dog. Come on, baby dog. Baby dog wants some attention, get some loves. That's him loving all over Teddy right now. Or should I say both of us? He came up here for some attention. He has got any attention around. He's getting more and more used to the boy. When I first had our son, he didn't like to be around very much. He always steered clear. Now he's getting a little used to him. He'll walk up to him, sniff him, and rub on him a little bit. Yeah, my buddy. So he's getting more and more used to him. And that's good. That's good. It's just taking him some time. Of course, he's an older dog. He's used to it being just Teddy pretty much. And until I walked into Teddy's life, and then it was me and Teddy that he had to get used to. And then, of course, when Justin came along, now he's having to get used to there being a third person. So much change in so little time, huh, buddy? Yeah. Where is this big dog? You gonna say hi? You gonna say hi to the camera? No, you gonna get jumped in? What? You gonna say hi? All right. I guess someone's gotta take a pee. So Teddy's gonna let him out so he can go to the bathroom. That's his way of letting us know that he's outside. He'll kind of dance around and then he barks, and we know he went outside then. His son's got a mess over here in the floor. See his mess?
Okay.
He got a big old mess over there. About half of his toys are out sitting right there right now. Big mess. That's, but that's okay. I'll clean it up tonight before I go to bed. That way in the morning we can just come in here and relax. And then, of course, it'll be messy again tomorrow in the same process. Until he learns to pick up his own toys. But, that's not going to be until he gets older. Which is fine. I understand that, He'll learn one of these days. Of course, we're transitioning from a bottle to a sippy cup, and he ain't taking too kindly to that. He ain't liking the fact that he has to go to sippy cup. I try a sippy cup every morning, and he just gives me a fuss. So hopefully he'll take to it soon. He's pretty much he'll drink the milk by itself now instead of having the milk and the formula. It's just getting him off the bottle to the sippy cup. And getting him to where he needs to be. He very, very rarely wants a binky, so breaking him of that won't be as hard. But he is attached to the bottle. So hopefully we can get him transitioned pretty soon to the sippy cup. will drink from a regular cup like this. Okay, he just has trouble with it and he spills it all over himself. Of course, learning to brush his teethies. I gave him a toothbrush and he just sat there and kind of chewed on it a bit. So, of course, I had went over it myself with the toothbrush, but he just kind of figuring out how to, after I got done, kind of figuring out how to do it. Teaching him a little bit early, protect them teeth as much as we can. But that's kind of where everything is at that I can think of right off the bat as to what everything, the way everything is going.
I don't have nothing.
And we're just waiting on the results of his second MMPI test results. Hopefully he passes it so he can finish the course and do what he wants to do. Hopefully.
If not, then I got plan B and C to do.
Yeah. If not, there's always plan B and C. But hopefully he'll be able to, do what he wants. But we'll see. Because he still has to pass that MMPI test, and then he has to finish the classes. Then he has to take a state test and pass the state test. And once he passes the state test, he can get his license. And when he gets his license, then he can. How do I put this? I'm trying to think of the words. Once he gets his license, he'll be able to basically decide his own hours. So say, in a way, so he can, do his job. And there's very minimal people that he has to work with due to the fact that he doesn't like too big of groups. Of course, his version of a big group is different from mine or anybody else's. Like 5 people is just a small group to me. 5 people is a big group to him. So anything above 3 basically is a big group to him. And he gets a little more nervous and tends to shut down then. Just like when we're around my family, he because of it he tends to shut down because I've got 3 sisters and then of course my dad and my mom when I get to see her, she's just busy. So it's just waiting on that to see what happens with that. And we're waiting to hear back from that, which we should know within the next few days, I think. Whew. Excuse me.
I hope.
Yeah, hopefully. It's because it's been
about a week.
About a week now that we've been waiting on since he's taken the second test to know what the results are. Last time they got the results back pretty fast. But it's not too big of a deal right this minute. We'd like for it to finish so he doesn't lose all the other knowledge he's learned.
I already lost it.
You haven't been studying?
It's kind of hard to be studying when you got a little and whining and,
Might have to, you might have to find you a space where you can.
There is no space.
I don't mean here. Go to a library or something. I guess it's kind of hard when I'm working and you have to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, hopefully he's we'll say hopefully he's retained enough of the knowledge to pass the test. Put it that
Now it looks like I probably have to find a job, so yeah. Because my dream ain't coming true.
just it's not didn't coming as long as fast as we'd like. But I mean, everything is a process, and sometimes processes can take longer than we like. What's he barking at? Of course, he barks at everything pretty much. So you never know what he's barking at. What are you doing, Boogie? You gonna talk? You gonna shake your head? You gonna shake your head? Yeah. Yeah, you wonder what Blue's barking about, huh? Yeah. 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 Yeah, I see you. He's over them. They're having him a ball, just kind of talking a bit. Is that right, Buggy? Yeah. See how long we've been on? Well, we've been on about 31 minutes. Goodness. Well, problem is, I don't know what to talk about, and it isn't like there's anybody to talk to but myself. I know there's other lives on tonight, but at the same time, we just found out just a few minutes before ours came on that there's a couple others scheduled at the same time, so I don't know. We may have to move back to the 8 o'clock because everybody's so used to us being on at 8 instead of 7. God. I think this is twice in a row we try to do it at 7, and yeah, not very much luck at 7 o'clock because they're watching everybody else. So we might have to go back to our 8 o'clock position.
Yeah. I will. And close your door.
Well, I'm gonna have to get a stopper made too, so I'm gonna let y'all go because I've run out of things to say right now. But we'll see you next time as soon as we can. Y'all have a good evening. Bye.
Everybody's watching.